Epilogue 1. It is a scent of cotton and lavender that gave her away. I catch the faint waft of feminine shampoo. I'm so addicted to that I pathetically pack it with me in mini bottles whenever I have to leave her to travel for work, which granted isn't often. Either we join each other while traveling or we don't travel at all. It's still fucked up to think we spent years away from each other while we were young. I look up from the desk in the studio I share with Len, in the shed of our garden, and stare at the door. Nothing. You can't fool me, good girl. You never could. I put down the blue diamond I have in my hand and stand to walk outside. The air is humid and hot around me, even though the sun set hours ago. I check the time on my phone. 1 in the morning. Fuck. That's why she checked on me. Has she seen what I was doing? Of course she has, jackass. That's why she tried to slip away unnoticed, not to ruin your surprise. I walk past our small garden and open the back door to our house. We live in a small villa in Corsica, France. We love that it's on an island that's within proximity to everything and everywhere we need to visit in Europe, and that our friends can visit us anytime because who the fuck doesn't want a vacation in the south of France? Padding barefoot down our dark hallway, I reach our bedroom door and pause. Our bedroom is the most glorious place in the house, maybe the universe. It overlooks the Mediterranean Sea. Whoever designed this house was smart enough to put in floor to ceiling windows overlooking the wonder that is sunset in Corsica. I push the door open and walk over to our bed. Len is lying there, curled into herself like a shrimp, pretending to sleep, her eyelids fluttering. I brush my thumb against her cheek, watching as goosebumps rise on her skin. This is how it all started, I think. I balled up the girl in the dark, begging not to be noticed. No can do, sweetheart. I tried so hard to ignore her existence when I saw her again after I gave her that chocolate because I knew how fucked up I would be if I let her in. And she burst in anyway, tearing down my walls. I lower myself to her ear and breathe the words tauntingly. I know you're not asleep, your eyelids are moving. Her eyes pop open and she rolls from her side to her back, staring at me defiantly. What if I am? She whispers, challenging me. What would you do? That depends. I sit on the edge of the bed, removing a lock of hair from her face. How much did you see back there? Enough to expect either a ring or a swift and yet very painful breakup if you give that piece of jewelry to someone else. A simple nothing would have been sufficient, but of course, nothing is simple where my girlfriend is concerned. We have spent last 2 years, setting up a home in Corsica and traveling all around the world, following our inspiration. We spent 6 months at home working, selling our art, and 6 months chasing memories and dreams and views most people only get to see in cheap pastel paintings at their doctor's office. I said I wouldn't go back to Todos Santos, and I kept my word. We do travel there during the holidays, though. Sometimes Poppy and Edgar tag along. They are part of my family now. You know, shit's getting serious when you put up with a girl like Poppy Astelis. It practically feels like Len and I are married, but that's not enough for me. Every single time I see some random motherfucker checking her out at the airport or in the pub or a club or even goddamn fucking supermarket, I get an unexplainable urge to bash his head against the floor until both crack. Considering this fact, it would be best if I put the world's male population and myself out of misery by putting a ring on it, pissing on my territory, and making sure everyone knows Lenora Astolis is off limits. Because that's the essence of what I have been trying to do for years anyway, isn't it? Put my mark on her, make sure people know she's mine. A quick and painful breakup is not in your future. I did man expressionless. She scoots up, leaning against the headboard and folding her arms. She's smiling now, that smile that disarms me of every negative feeling I have. What is it then? She raises an eyebrow. That depends on your answer. I shoot back. That depends on your effort. She retorts. And right now you're cocking up royally. Why don't you try when the ring is finished and find out? Not a no then. Plus she's playing right into my hands, thinking I am some kind of rookie. Wait until the ring is ready, I repeat. She nods slowly, watching me. All she saw was a diamond. Fine. I go down on one knee in front of the bed, plucking the little box out of my back pocket. Len perks up, cupping her mouth. But I just saw. I. She blinks rapidly, but stops saying whatever it is she's saying because now she's the one fucking it up. I put a hand on her knee, using the other hand to open the box. It was a bitch to make this ring. First of all, because I had to chase Edgar's ass to open up his safe in Switzerland and give me her mother's original engagement ring. Second, because I added to that ring every single rare diamond I could get my hands on, other than the blue one she just saw. No, that one is going to end up in the necklace the entire family is making for her, an engagement gift. Things are going to get real awkward really fast if she says no. You saw what I wanted you to see. I think I always had this idea that you should be my survivor. But naturally, the stubborn ass that I am, I didn't understand it. Now I do. I want you to save me today, and tomorrow, and in a month, and in a year, and in a decade. Save me. Give me your best and your worst and everything in between. I've always watched my dad loving my mom and thought he was stuck in a state of insanity, but he wasn't. Turns out, love really can be that fucking intense. She has tears in her eyes, happy ones, I hope. Although there's really no knowing in my case, I know a lot of people would be brought to sad tears at the prospect of spending the rest of their lives with me. Arabella, for instance, last I heard, she was in rehab seeking treatment for a mental breakdown. Save me, I whisper, taking Lenora's hand and waiting for her to give me the okay to slip the ring onto her finger. How did you know? She raps. That I had come out there now. It's middle of the night. I didn't. I grab her wrist, kiss the inside of her palm. I kept the damn ring with me for months. You finally cracked and peeked. You've been acting mysteriously. She rubs my lower lips back and forth. Not mysterious enough. As it turned out, we could have already been pregnant twice had it been up to me. You can't get me pregnant twice at the same time. It's a one-time thing. She cracks up, covering her face. I think she's blushing, but it's damn hard to see in the dark. Is that a challenge? I hiss, hooding my eyes, but my nonchalance expires a second later. Am I going to kneel on the one knee for all my fucking entirety? Eternity? Not that I mind, just asking for a friend. A friend? Well, my friend, my joints. She full-blown giggles now. I try to bite down my smile, but I just want her to say yes and put me out of my goddamn misery. Fine. She rolls her eyes. I'll marry you once, Spencer. But on one condition. I frown. Yes? No children. You don't want children? Nope. I don't pause to think about it. Fine, whatever, fuck it. They're whiny and annoying and could grow up to be fucking serial killers. Who needs them? I slip the ring onto her finger, standing up, jerking her with me, holding her by the ass and wrapping her legs around my waist. She moans in my mouth, her arms linked around my shoulder as I kiss her. I slap one of her ass cheeks with a grin. Lenora Spencer. Lenora Astilis Spencer, she corrects, and I would very much like you to be Van Astilis Spencer. This time I do think about it. There's a pause. Then she starts laughing again, wildly, covering my entire face with kisses. You're such a bloody Jeet. You're bloody Jeet, baby. Lenora, 1 year later. She actually has an English accent, British accent, which obviously I don't have. So I'm sorry if this does not, some people don't like it. I'm trying to do my best. So just do with me, What happened to I don't want kids? Juan is standing by the sink in the OBGYN clinic, picking up a chart showing the fetus growing stages and frowning at it with dry concentration. He has a tendency to do everything gravely, and that makes me laugh. Even the day he dragged the statue of us, the one he sculpted in our bedroom, the last piece of decoration we've added to our home, he looked no more happy than he was when he chopped vegetables for a salad in the evening before. I said that just to see what kind of husband you would be if you don't get your way. It was a test. I'm dangling my feet in the air, sitting on an examining table in a gown, waiting for the doctor to tell us the sex of the baby. The truth is, the idea of children has grown on me. Like leaves on the summer tree, the more time Juan and I spent together. But everything I thought I wanted or needed changed after we eloped in London City Hall 3 weeks after Juan's proposal, in front of our close friends and family. Poppy arrived with her new boyfriend Jaden, whom Juan got along with surprisingly well. Really, we couldn't have done it any other way. When you think about it, Juan wasn't one for fancy events. 3 weeks after the wedding, Baron and Amelia presented us with our wedding gift, a plush 6 bedroom beach house in Todos Santos. We thanked them politely, but we weren't going to do anything with it, of course. We loved our Corsica home. Then Amelia made the very good point that we could at least visit it and list it to be rented. We agreed. The minute I set foot in that house, I knew I was born to live here. The ocean called to me. The sound of the waves crashing on the shore lulled me into drugging bliss. Everything was open and beautiful and new. The air felt lighter and crisp. The four of us walked in, Emilia, me, Juan, and his father. And the second I stood in the center of the living room, I knew it was my new home. I turned to Juan with a smile. Let's keep it. Without a thought, he turned straight to his parents, narrowing his eyes at them. Is it too late to rebel against your asses? Because you fucked me over real nice and good this time. His father patted his shoulder with a patronizing smirk. Watch and learn, son. Not sure I would be dedicating my life to screwing over my imaginary kids if we wanted to have them, Juan corrected. He still thought I wasn't into the idea of kids, my silly, silly husband. You would be singing a different tune if and when they decide to live on the other side of the universe. His mother smiled sweetly, but there was no venom in her voice. She meant it. She missed us. For the next few months, we lived at the Spencers, in hotels around Todos Santos, in San Diego, and with Night in Luna Cole. We had to stay close while we worked on designing the house, and that left a lot of room for morning sex, and evening sex, and middle of the night sex, and frankly all day sex. I took the pill religiously and didn't take antibiotics or anything to hinder their success. It was a fluke, but one I wasn't even a tiny bit annoyed with. Not sure I'm comfortable with something like this inside my wife's body. Juan turns around me now with the chart in his hands, tapping a pink blob in shape of a comma. Not sure you have much choice, I grin, sitting back on the bed. Besides, if you think that's all, it's about to get a lot weirder. He pushes his lower lip out, coming to sit next to me. Question. Yes? What if I suck at being a dad? I mean, I know you're 100% going to save the situation, but what if I won't be enough? Do you love me? I ask him. To death, he says, and that's just not a figure of speech, although I appreciate greatly if you don't test me on that matter. I already did, and I wanted to tell him, and you chose not to kill someone because of me. But that's not a conversation we have too often. Then you're going to love this baby twice, if not thrice as much. You're an amazing husband. Why wouldn't you make a fantastic dad? We smile at each other and the doctor walks in. The same one who delivered Juan, actually. I lie back and allow her to squirt ice-cold gel on my stomach. My stomach is poking out a little, more than usual for how far along I am. But Amelia says it's because I'm tiny, so everything shows. Amelia is a bit like a mother figure Poppy and I needed after Mum died, and I would let that frighten me if it wasn't for the fact that my happiness is too raw, too real to let the past upset me. The doctor watches the monitor and moves the transducer around my belly. We all stare at the screen expectantly. Juan is holding my hand. How old are you again? She asks as a way of making small talks. 21-ish. Juan answers on my behalf when he realizes I'm too stunned with joy and pride. I can feel his foot tapping on the floor. He's nervous but happy. Why? He asks suspiciously. How well do you deal with lack of sleep? Juan and I exchanged amused looks. Quite well. We're not heavy sleepers. Besides, Juan's mother is going to help us a lot, and I'm taking a year off after baby is born. I answered cheerfully, recovering from the initial shock. I can't understand anything I'm seeing on the screen anyway. Babies! The OBGYN turns around and grins at me. I blink at her. Pardon? When the babies arrive, Mrs. Astelis Spencer, you're having twins. It'll take you your mother-in-law's help and up you 2 part-time nannies. I opened my mouth to say something, although I really don't know what there is to say. We don't have a history of twins in my family, and neither does one. When my husband scoops me up in the air and kisses me in front of the doctor, I laugh breathlessly as he puts me down, showering me with little kisses. He looks elated, fantastically happy, the happiest I have seen him. Scared yet? I smirk at him. With you by my side, he grins. Never. That's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Peace out.